Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. This is our Three Devils and a Gooner installment of the podcast where we talk all things United and Arsenal. We've got our Three Devils today. We've got Chelsea and Greg and myself, obviously, and we've got Jen as well as our resident Arsenal Gooner. So, how is everyone today?
Great.
Yeah, not bad. All right.
It's Monday.
It is Monday. So I wanted to start off the podcast by firstly congratulating Arsenal on the only thing they're going to win this season, which is the We Relegated Sam Allardyce trophy. So congratulations. Congratulations. I've heard and seen a lot of things on Twitter today saying, oh, we're the only team that's relegated Sam Allardyce. So for that, props. Congratulations. We'll get your trophy out in the mail. Firstly, to go on to the weekend's games, we both had wins, which was fantastic because I don't think I've been on a show recently where we've both had wins. So it's good to talk about. And the same scoreline, am I right? Did you guys win 3-1, Jen?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Always good. So I want to first start off with United, just because I'm biased. Sorry, Jen. To start off actually with the Europa League instead of the game, because that was first. Mm-hmm. So United are now through to the Europa League final. First final under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, which I think we can all collectively agree, guys. Buzzing?
Yes.
Yeah. He deserves it so much. And to see all of the, because there's loads of journalists that came out today and was kind of saying, apologising to him as if to say, look, we're really sorry that we kind of, put you through the shitter. Really. Mm-hmm. So that in itself just says it all for me. It's like you constantly get beat down to say that you're not good enough, and you rise above it and you say, no, I am good enough. Like, yes, he's not perfect. We all know, but what manager is perfect? Pep? No. Klopp? No. Like Arteta? No. No. So no one is above criticism, but the media scrutiny that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been under the past, ever since he took over, it's been disgusting, really. And it just shows the resilience, and it shows that he can do it. He has got that fire inside of him to be the Manchester United manager. So I, for one, I'm absolutely buzzing to see him at his first final, and I just hope that we can win it, especially with the doubt of Harry Maguire. That I kind of wanted to just touch on that, because I know at the start of the season we were all saying, "Oh, he's a fridge, he's slow, he's shit," But as the games have gone on and he's gotten his feet under the table, I genuinely think he's one of the most important members of our squad. He's our captain, and he's resilient as well. And he digs in. And yes, he's slow, but he gets the job done most of the time. So. Greg, how much of a doubt and how much of a worry would that be if he wasn't in the final?
Yeah, I think massive. Yeah, I think it's a massive problem if he's not in the. Maybe not a problem, because I generally think that we're far too strong for Sevilla, whether it's Bailly and Lindelof or whether it's Villarreal. Sorry.
Wish it was Sevilla.
Yeah, wish it was Sevilla. That was last year. Villarreal, yeah, we're far too strong for them. I think whether Bailly and Lindelof play, or Maguire and Lindelof, or Maguire and Bailly. I would like Maguire to play just so he could lift the trophy, just so everything that he's gone through this season sort of been worth it. He had a horrible start. Obviously what happened in Greece affected him quite clearly on the pitch, but certainly since sort of November time, after the Tottenham game, really, he's really turned it around. He's become an absolute stalwart in that back four. He's been a stalwart for Man United since he came in. He's improved our defence single-handedly. And there's people that think he's slow and he can't do this and he can't do that. But us getting better and defending and winning games of football coincided with signing Harry Maguire, and that's not a fluke. Like, he's a top defender. He's got his problems. He can't turn at great pace, but when the game's in front of him, or he needs to make sort of a last-ditch tackle, or he can win the ball in the air and just bully a striker, he's really good at it. But I would love to see him play just for him, even if he wasn't fit to start, if we were like up by a couple and we just bring him on.
Do a John Terry.
Yeah, just bring him on, give him the armband and just let him lift it, because he needs I think for him, he needs to justify the same way Ollie does. I think they're the two people in the squad more than anything that need to win something, because they're the two that are under constant doubt from Man United fans, from the media, from everyone like that. It's Maguire and it's Ollie, because they're not superstar names. They're not seen as good enough. And we obviously paid a lot of money for Maguire. And I think if you take Maguire's transfer fee out of the question, Maguire's a top 5. I think he is. I think he's a top 5 Premier League centre back. He's just consistently been great for us. His on the ball work has become fantastic. He's becoming a leader, which I didn't think he could have. I didn't think he had the capabilities to be a proper Man United captain from the last year. He's been absolutely brilliant. So I'd love to see him play, but I don't think it's going to greatly matter. We should, provided the right Man United turn up, or we score an own goal in the first minute and just give us a really good start. We should be able to. We should be able to roll Villarreal, because they're not a great side. I believe they got beat again through the week. So
yeah, I think they lost to Celta Vigo like 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1 or 4-2.
That's insane. Yeah. Jen, what went wrong?
Oh, don't. I've got a big long list.
I'll come back to you.
Yeah,
Chelsea,
seriously.
Chelsea, are you as buzzing as what me and Greg are? Like, absolutely, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the whole team deserve it, because they've really turned it around since that Tottenham game that Greg touched on. Like that, I think that Tottenham game was the turning point, really, and a real wake-up call to say, if you don't get your shit together, you'll get battered in this league. So are you as buzzing as what we are?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's so nice to finally see us in a final, like obviously breaking the semi-final curse, which it's been a long time coming. And obviously, to be honest with you, if you'd have told me back when we got beat by Tottenham in that horrible game that we would have been in the Europa League final, I wouldn't have believed you. And I know we were in the Champions League back then, but like, it's still a final at the end of the day.
Let's not revisit that.
But at the end, like I said, I don't care whether it's a Champions League, whether it's a Europa League. At the end of the day, it's a final, and it's in my opinion, it's showing progress. Like, we're second in the league, we're in a Europa League final, and like you said, a lot of players in that team deserve to win a trophy. Like, obviously, Ollie able to see that. Maguire, obviously, Bruno. I've looked at the impact that Bruno has made. Like, I want nothing more to see him lift the trophy. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I'm obviously over the moon, and like I said before, I've literally booked the day off work for it, because I'm not missing our first final in a few years for work. So yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm just hoping we can go the whole way, and I think we can. I think we've got we're more than capable. We've shown we're capable of beating teams like that, even better teams. So he's turn up on the night, and hopefully start on the front foot and get the win.
Yeah, I completely agree. And also, I wanted to add De Gea to that list of people that deserve it, because if this is to be his last season with United, he deserves to end it with a trophy for everything that he's done for us, because he has been outstanding. And that game on Thursday just showed that he hasn't lost it. He can clearly pull it out of his locker when he needs to. And yes, he has been very inconsistent this season, but he's still got it. I just quickly wanted to come to the comments just to see who we've got in. We've got Rory, of course, evening. Matthew, evening. I hope you're well, Matt. Hello. Yes, do exactly what Matthew says. Please smash the like button and subscribe to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast. There's so much content coming over the next kind of few days and weeks as well, so do stay tuned for that. We've got Donny's biggest fan, as always. Victoria's Secrets we've got as well, and we do have Jay as well. Hello, I hope you're all well on this now sunny evening. Jen, I wanted to come quickly to your Europa League issue, because obviously you crashed out of the Europa League to Villarreal. So where do you see you going from here? Because, I mean, it's been 5 years since you were in the Champions League. This is the first time in 25 years that you have no European football. Where do you go from here? Like, do you honestly believe that Arteta can take you forward, or because you sacked Emery for less, because he was sixth or something, I think, sixth when you sacked Emery, and now you guys are ninth. So do you genuinely think that Arteta can take you forward.
Right, I'm going to say first things first. Happy
Go on.
birthday, Dennis Bergkamp, 52 today. Yay,
Bless.
my man.
Happy birthday, Ben. Big Ben.
Love him. See, the likes of Dennis Bergkamp, Thierry Henry, we have not got them in our team. Anyway, right.
That's for sure.
Personally, what happened on Thursday was we only needed to win 1-0.
Yeah.
And that brings a whole lot of trouble when it comes to Arteta. Arteta just thinks, oh yeah, we're going to get that goal. So the first half, I reckon they just played not to let a goal in.
Right.
And then the second half, it was like, right, we'll go for a goal. And they were brilliant for 10 minutes. We were brilliant. And that was it then. We didn't score in that 10 minutes. And then we didn't look like we were going to score after that. So obviously I was really upset. And I'm never watching Arsenal again. That's not me. I've been a supporter for too many years to be doing that. I really seriously had to then look at Arteta, and my gut instinct straight away was get rid of him. Get rid of him. He's useless. He's no good. And then I'm saying, but actually, I think he will be a great manager. But he shouldn't have started with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we shouldn't have been his first club. No way.
It's a massive job. I mean, to go from being Pep's number 2 to being number 1 at a top 6 side, it's a massive jump. And yeah, maybe he wasn't ready.
But the only problem we've got now is I don't think we're getting rid of him. And if we do, we touched on this last week. It was like, who do we get? But being Arsenal, I know there'll probably be a number of managers that actually wouldn't mind coming to us. But I really honestly do not think we're getting rid of him. So, you know, Kroenke has to back him. I don't think we're getting rid of our owners either. Kroenke will have to back him. You know, and they keep saying, oh yeah, they're going to back him. It's going to be unprecedented. It's not going to be like anything you've ever seen before. So please God, they will. I mean, I've got a whole list of people who we'd have to get rid of and who I think would be coming in.
Who's top of that list? Who would you get rid of first?
Oh my God. I love Pepe. I wish Pepe wouldn't try and take people on. I wish he'd
just shoot.
like he did yesterday. That was a wonder goal yesterday.
Good goal.
I would get rid of Willian. Willian would not ever be near my team, ever. I don't know really what they saw when they were buying him. You know, it's taken him 9 months to score a goal, and that was from a free kick.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be quicker having a baby.
Jen,
It's true though.
Jen, do you think Arteta tries like a bit too? Do you think he tries too much? Do you think sometimes he just needs to let? Because what all he gets a lot of criticism for is having no tactics whatsoever. And I was thinking about this earlier, and he's like, but all he backs his players and has backed his players to sort of play this free-flowing football because they're good enough. Arsenal's players, there are players in that team that are good enough. So do you think there's just some times where he needs to just take a step back and be a coach again and not a manager?
Yeah.
Because if you look at like, formations and things you play, you couldn't get. Obviously, you play either 4 at the back or 3 at the back, but the actual personnel changes so often that there doesn't seem to be a set plan in terms of the way that Arsenal want to play. Whereas with All Eight now, looks like there is because there's consistency even with a back 4.
That is exactly the discussion I was having with my son this evening before I was coming on here. I actually mentioned Ollie as well. I said, like, you know who Ollie's going to play. You know what his tactics are. Arteta, we don't. And that was one of the reasons we got rid of Emery. Was we didn't know what he was doing from day to day, from week to week. And the same with, this is exactly what I said to my son. I wish he would choose his top 11. The way he wants to play, and keep with it. Keep with it and just let them play. Let them get confident, because Pepe yesterday scored a brilliant goal.
Mhm.
Emile Smith-Rowe, fair play to him, scored his first goal
He's
of the
a
season.
fantastic player. He's so good.
Absolutely. Oh, he's superb. I absolutely adore Emile Smith-Rowe. I think he's one of our best players and he's going to be a talent.
Yeah.
But Arteta has to let him play. And he has to let him play his own way. He can't coach him too hard and then he'll lose all his flair. You know? So it's exactly what you're saying, Greg. You know, that is what I think Arteta's doing too much. He's overcoaching. He's over analysing, and then I think he's scaring them. I think he's actually scaring the players that if they do something wrong, they're not back in the team. Like I love Cedric at right back. I thought Cedric was brilliant with him at right back and Pepe in front of him. It really looked good down the right hand side.
There was that chemistry, like
they were overlapping as well.
Yeah,
Cedric's got dropped. Where has Cedric gone? You know, I know he was sick, but he got dropped. And he got dropped for what he did on the left-hand side, which was not fair because he's not a left wing. He's not a left back. No. He's a right back.
Yeah.
And it's that, again, Arteta over-managing. So, you know, maybe he needs to look at himself, step back. And, you know, we got, please God, a couple of months now. And next season, seriously, we've got no Europe. I do not want to get into 7th place. Do not want that Conference League.
Don't want the Conference League.
Just stay where you are.
Stay away. I'd prefer to be 8th or 9th.
Yeah.
You know, 6th, 8th or 9th. We're not getting 6th, so 8th or 9th. And, you know, we'll have the season to actually build our team up and please God, get in around the top 6. We'll be in the top 6.
Do you think that's what this season should have been? Like the season for it to just pick an 11 and whatever the sort of score is going to be, that's what it's going to be. But at least the players will gain some confidence because you've played 6 different left backs. You've had 9 different players play central midfield. You've had 4 different players play on the left wing. Like there's no consistent. Like we're saying, comparing that to Ollie, you've always had 2 players play left back, 2 players play right back. He's had 5 players play central midfield. Like you could name all, like we always do on the pre-match show of any game, we name Ollie's team. And we're always like, oh, it's McFred. Yeah, but McFred have played every single game this season. So of course it's going to be McFred. Like
if you do that, you actually get a chemistry together. The players know where the other players are. And you can see how your season has gone. It's just gone up.
Yeah.
Whereas ours is like, oh my God, hovering around 10th, 9th, 10th again. Yeah. But like that, I'm hoping for next season that we get a load of these players in. We'll see. You know, Cronkies have said they're going to do it, so let's see if they put their money where their mouth is.
Yep.
And see, because it should just be a building. It should be a building block of a season. My only worry is if we don't get rid of Arteta, if he doesn't get our team in a decent position, like, and to me 6th and upwards is decent, nothing under that, that he's going to be sacked at Christmas and then we're back to the bloody beginning again. And that's my worry. That is my complete worry, that if we back him fully, but he has to show us, and like Christmas might even be too late if we're in 10th, you know, or even 15th like we were. You know,
clauses into contracts.
Yeah, it's frustrating, as you know.
Yeah, I'm going to come to this comment quickly before we move on to the weekend's games. So Jay says there's too many players at Arsenal that are simply not good enough. Xhaka, Bellerin, Louise, Rob Holding, Callum Chambers and Partey have been pretty bad. What do you think of
that? Will you leave it up so I can see?
Sorry. There you go.
Right. Granit Xhaka, I feel for. I actually feel for Granit Xhaka. I think he's quite good in midfield and he's quite good at passing the balls through the lines and finding people. Left back is not his position. He is quite a solid player, but he's not very quick. Hector Bellerin needs to go. I'd have got rid of him last season. David Luiz, we couldn't have done without this season, believe it or not. I think his partnership with Gabriel has been brilliant. And it's such a shame that 1 or 2 of them, you know, one got injured, then the other one got injured. Rob Holding, you all know what I feel about Rob Holding, ball watcher. Watches the ball go over his head and then he's running after it going, oh my God, I've lost it. Callum Chambers actually he's slow, but he has been actually an eye-opener for me at right back. And I feel if we have Cedric and we sell Bellerin, that Chambers could be a backup right back if we get another right back. So he'd be like my third right back, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Or then if you've got your two central defenders, say Gabriel and what's his name that's coming back, beginning with S? Saliba, yeah. If we have them two, say Saliba gets injured, Chambers can actually fill in there as well. Yeah. So he'd be worth keeping just as your backup. Mm-hmm. Partey, as you all know, love Partey. I think he can get better. Yeah. I do think he was better when he first arrived. And again, it comes back to the comment of Arteta over-analysing, over-coaching them. And maybe he's just kind of sat back and gone, oh, I can't do that because Arteta will be cross, or, you know, I've got to make sure I don't let anything in, rather than looking through the lines. Because he can play a ball. When he needs to, he really can play a ball. I mean, you can see when we played Chelsea, Spurs, Leicester, any teams that come on to us, we've been much better in those games. Whereas when, like, we're trying to play against somebody who does a low block, we can't get through. We ain't got the players to do it. And it's, again, Arteta's, the way he's managing them. I think, personally, it's the way he's managing them. So anyway, I'll shut up talking.
No, you're all right. It's always good to have a conversation, especially because you've got three people here that we don't really watch Arsenal. Like, we don't have invested interest. We watch them when they're on. So it's good to have like a more in-depth, you know, kind of view on things, because we can all talk about their performances and we can banter each other all we want, but it's the more in-depth stuff that you don't really get when you've got just a one-team show. So no, we really, really appreciate it. I'm going to quickly come to the comments as well. Paul, it's about time, my friend. You're late. Shocking. Rory says, how long is Harry Maguire out for? We don't know yet. Hopefully not too long, because he's an absolute unit. So I don't think he'll be out for too long. I personally think he will be back for the final, but that's probably me hoping. Because I as much as I love Lindelof, I do not think the partnership between Bailly and Lindelof is great. I think I prefer Lindelof and Tuanzebe because they've had quite good performances. I know you hate him. I don't like him at all. But I would personally feel just that little bit better with them two. But obviously, you'd want Maguire and Lindelof, or Maguire and Bailly, whatever. But yeah, Lindelof and Bailly gives me a little bit of anxiety. Jay also says that Saka, Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe and Tierney are all decent. Yep, that's true. Pepe is hot and cold. Sometimes he's brilliant and other times he doesn't do enough. I think you can say that about any player, though. Sometimes they have their off games. It's like Rashford. He's
so frustrating.
Sometimes he really frustrates me because you can see the talent that he's got. And obviously it doesn't help that I don't think he's fully fit. Maybe he's fit enough to play, but I don't think he's really there, because even though he's had an amazing season by stat standards, like goal and assists, he's had a great season, but we just haven't seen that, you know, that spark from him. And maybe it's the COVID season, you know, players kind of feeling run down. There's a lot of games. So this season, I think we should write off in the Premier League anyway. In my opinion, that's not me being bitter. It is, but I think we should write it off. So this season, as long as last season as well, they both have little asterisks on, so they don't count. So we can live in ignorant bliss. It was fine by me. Paul says, give it to Eddie Cavani. I wanted to quickly touch on that before we move on, because I think we were all buzzing when we saw earlier that he'd signed an extension. And I will always kind of say when I'm wrong, the start of the season, I called him a flop. I called him a panic buy. But I'm more than happy to be proved wrong and hold my hands up and say, I'm sorry, you beautiful, beautiful bastard, because he is, oh my God, just his movement and his tenacity and the way even yesterday, he got his head on for the defending when they nearly equalised yesterday was absolutely fantastic. And I take my hat off to him because at 33, nearly 34 years old, he is an absolute machine. And I'm so glad we've got him just for another season for the coaching of Rashford and Greenwood and just for obviously his goals as well and his assists because he's an absolute machine. Like you can tell he's just got that striker's instinct in him that I don't think we've really had for a while. So I'm absolutely buzzing to see him sign that 1-year extension. And hopefully we can now see him score a goal at the Stretford end and he can hear the fans kind of singing his song and like singing his name because he really deserves it. Shaka is a good player, just not a star boy. He's definitely not a star boy. 100%. I want to quickly move on to the games at the weekend as well. I'll start with United. 3-1 win against Villa. What do you think, Greg? Did we just do the business? Because I don't know about you, but this second half FC stuff is really kind of annoying me a little bit. I understand that, you know, when you kind of go a goal down, it's like, okay, here we are again. Yeah. But you kind of know that they're going to kick back into it. But I want us to play a full 90 minutes, if possible.
Yeah.
Or turn up in the first half and then just see it out for the rest of it. Like, I don't like this whole going a goal behind and then having to dig in. Like, Ollie's halftime team talks must be something. He must put an absolute rocket up their arse to say, right, you get yourself out there and do it. But it maybe it's just me, but I don't like it because it just gives me a little bit of anxiety. But I just wonder how much longer we can get away with it going forward. If next season it's going to be, you know, like a proper season, not a
proper go
asterisk season, you know. So what are your thoughts on yesterday and our great second half performance again?
Yeah, well, I think the second half thing was a real issue until about sort of late January, and then I think we started going down at a more like happenstance than actually playing badly. Like, yesterday we were good. We dominated the ball. We moved the ball quickly. We got little half chances. We just didn't. The issue that we've had a couple of times, we had it when we went 1 down against Brighton as well. We dominated the ball so much. We got the little half chances, and we just didn't have a Cavani on the pitch to get on the end of a ball coming along the box or getting a tap in off the goalkeeper's save or something like that. Because when Greenwood pulls that ball back, if Cavani's on the pitch and that gets tapped in, it's 1-0. And then suddenly it's not second half FC anymore. But Villa yesterday scored an absolute screamer. Like, I don't think it doesn't matter who you had in goal. It was a great finish. And then, obviously we had to come back and it had to be a case of us coming back to win the game, which I thought we were really good, but I thought we were really good all game. I thought there's very few occasions sort of in the last few weeks, especially where I've looked and gone, that was like an awful first half performance or something. It's been a lot more like we've dominated the ball. We've just not got that goal. Yeah. And then it just seems to be happening that when we don't get the goal, and that's what's going to happen in the Premier League. You don't get that goal. There's decent teams that are going to score goals, and even bad teams will score goals if you don't punish them. But yeah, I thought we were good yesterday, to be honest. I thought we dominated the ball really well. I thought we moved it really quickly. There was maybe about 10 minutes in the first half where it wasn't great, but I thought Pogba was excellent, absolutely dominated the Douglas Luiz all game. Obviously got him biting twice for a penalty, which was brilliant. Greenwood scored a great goal. Rashford learned how to create something out of nothing, which was unbelievably good for Cavani, who I think Matty Cash could have been told 2 weeks ago that that's where Cavani was going to be and he wouldn't have caught him because he had no idea where he was at all. But no, I thought we were really good. Like I said, I think the second half FC stuff has become a lot less of an issue as the season's gone on. It's just been sort of like we just happen to be there. It's not like playing badly has earned us that spot. And then obviously with a couple new additions, like a decent, like a top, like Greenwood's good, but he's a striker. I think personally, I would much rather have a world class right midfielder and a world class holding midfielder in there in that team, and sort of balance it out a little bit, just to make it teams that sit back slightly easier to break down. But no, I thought we were good. I think we've been good all season. I think we're only getting better as well. Like, you can really see the way Ollie wants this team to play, and he wants this team to play good attacking football and dominate the ball.
Yeah.
And there's only so much you can do with McFred in midfield and Bruno in front of him. And then we kind of saw why on Thursday, why he doesn't trust the bench so much. Because the bench came on and we were dire. So yeah, I thought we were really good in it, and hopefully but it's just something to build on. As long as we win, that's all I care about, really. But I think our performances have been really, really good, certainly over the last 6-7 weeks. I
completely agree, because yesterday when I was watching the game, I was so frustrated because we didn't deserve to be down.
Yeah.
You know, when we get dominated and kind of they're all over us, then you can kind of say, right, okay, it was coming. But yesterday, we were so dominant, and it's just, I don't know where to start with it. Fred, McTominay, Lindelof, they all didn't do their job.
Yeah, well, McTominay called for the ball. I don't know why he did, because the ball came down, McTominay asked for it. So Fred gave him it, and then McTominay lost it. And I was like, well, why would you call for it?
If you're going to call for the ball, at least keep it, you know.
Keep it or kick it out. Don't just stand there and then get tackled. It was very silly.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It was a little bit naive as well, but I mean, taking absolutely nothing away from the finish, it was fucking fair play to him.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Didn't matter.
As soon as it went in, I kind of went, oh. Chelsea, what were your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I just literally echo what you two think. Like, especially yesterday, I don't think we played bad at all. Like, we started off really, really bright, and I even said, I was like, wow, like, we actually started on the front foot for a change, because obviously we tend to go down first. But no, we played really well, and a lot of the goals we do concede when we do end up coming back are all just silly defensive blunders that could have been avoided. Like, they're not. I agree, his goal was brilliant, but it's just like, you know, the Fred losing the ball, well, pass it to McTominay losing the ball, obviously, doing the loss. But yeah, like,
dude,
no,
don't call him Lindelof.
To be fair, no, Lindelof has put in some good performances recently, but obviously that wasn't a great sort of, you know. But yeah, that it's just silly things like that just lead to the goal. But obviously we come back in the second half, and like what you said, and I said this before, like, whatever Ollie says at half time works, because they come out and it's just it's almost like a completely different team. Like, we actually look like we're fighting for it, and we're ready, you know, we want to get the win. I think obviously getting Bruno's penalty was kind of, they get that equaliser and they're like, right, okay, we want more sort of thing, and you keep going from there. But obviously, amazing goal from Greenwood. Obviously, what you really expect. Cavani, like that. Something about Cavani's headers. Like, he's moving into the box, he's there at the right time. Exactly what we need. Just someone who's there, ready to just, you know, score. But yeah, like, all in all, I was really impressed with it, and I think it was generally quite a good game to watch. But yeah, I just think we need to this is why we could potentially need like a DM or a centre back, because we need to avoid these silly little defensive errors that are making us go down in the first half. So actually a good stat before, in total this season, it's not just the league, just everything. We've gone 1-0 down more times than we've gone 1-0 up, like when winning the game.
So that gives me massive anxiety.
We've gone 1-0 down 14 times, 1-0 up 13 times. So it's close, but still, like, that's still, like, you know, fine margins. Like, we shouldn't really be going down 1-0 that often to come back and win it. Well, obviously, I'm happy we're coming back to win it. I'm happy that, you know, we've managed to sort ourselves out. But it's just a bit mad to think that, you know, like 10 times in the league from like losing positions, we've come back to win. It's mad.
Yeah. We've also scored 44 goals just in the second half.
Exactly, mad. I mean, but hopefully, like you said, we just next season we just come into it a little bit more on the front foot. We stop, because I agree with you. Like, it does make you a little anxious, because you go down and you're like, nah, surely not. Like, not today. And until second half comes around and we're back to how we should be playing. And like, for example, in the Europa League final, we can't be doing something like that. We need to go into it full, you know, ready to win. We can't be waiting for that goal against us for them back to wake us up. We need to be going. It's final. You need to be going in and trying to win it straight away. So not all the second half bullshit. So yeah, we're not playing. Like, I agree, we're not playing bad at the minute, and I was happy with the performance yesterday. We just need to stop making those silly little errors that lead into that first goal we concede. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Jen, another 3-1 win against West Brom. How do you think they played yesterday? Because I thought they played quite well.
Yeah, after the first 20 minutes, they played okay.
We're rubbing off on you.
Saka at left back, people have been calling for it. I think because it was West Brom, it worked. I think if it was a better team, it wouldn't have worked because his defensive abilities are rubbish, really.
Mm-hmm.
But he did get up and he was firing balls into the box. And Emil Smith-Rowe, just a lovely goal by him to get on the end of one of those. For me, I do think it shows that Martinelli isn't really a striker. You know, people have been saying, oh, put Martinelli on. He runs around a lot and he's really, you know, energetic. But there were so many balls went into the box and he wasn't there or he wasn't on the end of them. It could have been miles more than 3-1, like it could have. So I would see him more as a midfielder, like a forward midfielder. Do you know? Pepe's goal was amazing. As I said earlier, I wish he wouldn't try and take people on so much and just shoot a bit more. And we won't talk about Willian, but it was a fantastic free kick. I think he was playing yesterday to get his move. Hopefully lots of American clubs were watching yesterday and saw that wonderful free kick.
Hopefully.
So
Good.
No, delighted for the win. Relegated West Brom. It was really funny to see Sam Allardyce's face afterwards.
He wasn't happy, was he?
He wasn't one bit happy, but it was really funny.
Yeah.
So it gave me a smile.
A little bit of me kind of feels sorry for people that get relegated. Like, I think that's just I'm just a little bit too soft for this game, I think.
Unless Sheffield United, because they have a championship level team in the Premier League and didn't expect to get relegated. That's.
I mean, they did lose their star player, so it kept them in the Premier League. Obviously, going into our last few games, Jen, I'm right in thinking you have 3 games left.
Yep. Chelsea, Crystal Palace. Yeah.
And Brighton, I think.
Yeah.
How many points are you envisaging from those 3 games?
I'm hoping, because we're playing Chelsea in 2 days. Wednesday, is it? I think. I'm hoping they've got 10.
9.
9 days. Oh my God, I thought it was Wednesday we were playing them on my brain.
It means 9 points.
So is that before the FA Cup? Because I was hoping that they'll have one eye on the FA Cup, one eye on the Champions League and forget about the game in the middle.
No, I think he meant 9 points that you were going to get.
Oh, yeah.
So I think you do play Chelsea on Wednesday, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, thank God. I wasn't going mad.
No, you're not going mad. Don't worry. So Greg thinks you're going to get 9 points. How many points are you saying again?
Oh, yeah. You know me. Come on, Rach. 9? I never say.
You're exactly like me, literally.
If Arteta lets them play, choose his best team, let them play. Do you know? Yeah. And Chelsea, please God, will, as I said, one eye on FA Cup, another eye on Champions League, and they'll just forget about the league now.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully. We saw them against. The only reason they turned up against Man City, though, at the weekend was because they're playing them in the Champions League final. So they didn't want them to get one over on them. Yeah. That's my prediction anyway.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think you've got a good chance of winning it because with a derby as well, I think you can never really take form into consideration. Like I'll always say, even if United are playing shit or if Liverpool are playing shit, when you play, you're always kind of nervous and anything could happen in a derby. So I think you've got a good chance of winning it because I do think that they will be prioritising the Champions League over the league because I feel like they're going to get top 4 anyway. I feel like it's pretty much done and dusted, I think. So I genuinely do think they will have one eye on both of the trophies. So I think you may be able to, like you say, it just depends on the team that turns up and the team that he actually plays because fuck knows
Who
who's going to
knows?
play. Yeah, exactly. Chelsea and Greg, we've obviously got, is it 4 games left? Am I right in thinking?
4, yeah. So we've
4,
got
so we've
Leicester,
got-
Liverpool, Fulham, Wolves.
Yes, I hate playing Wolves.
Me too. It's
I-
dull as dish
oh.
water.
Yeah,
So bad.
yeah. So, how many points are we thinking, Chelsea?
12.
Go on. Yeah.
See, I obviously, don't get me wrong, I know pretty much we're not going to win the league. However, I feel like, I said that to tweet this the other day, even if we don't end up winning, even if, like, I mean, fingers crossed, City just bottled the last 3 games and, you know, we win our next 4 and we'll win the league. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I said this the other day, like, even if we don't end up winning, which we won't, I think we need to try our best to win our last 4 games and just see how close we can get to City, because, you know what I mean, like, I'm proud of finishing second anyway, but like I'll be proud if we push them all the way and we manage, like, because for example, if we win our last 4 games, City, you know, win the games they need to win as well. They need one more win to win, don't they? So you know, like, even if that happens, like, the closer we get to City, that just shows progress, in my opinion. And even though I know Ollie's gonna have to rotate because of the fixture congestion, I think we're more than capable of winning all 4. So yeah. I'm gonna go all 12.
No, I completely agree with you, and I know I might sound delusional here, but I genuinely think that City want to win the Champions League because it's the one that's got away, in a sense.
Yeah.
They've obviously never won it. This is the furthest they've ever got. So what if they did fall apart in the league? What if they did fall apart in the league? And because they're, you know, what's the point? It's the hope. Exactly.
If we're still in contention, then call me, like, people have called me delusional, but what's the point? Like, if we're still in contention, but if we can still mathematically win the league, then I'm going to believe until it's impossible. 21
that's why you
is coming.
Literally. That's exactly my kind of mentality. Until someone tells me that it is physically and mathematically not possible that you can win a league, I will never stop believing.
Yeah.
And I know in my head, it's not going to happen. My heart tells me that you never know. I mean, you never know. You never know. And as Victoria's Secret says there, 21 is coming.
There you go.
Yes, it is.
Knows.
Yes, it's unanimous.
Yes, it can.
And Arsenal will finish ahead of Spurs. Ooh.
No.
Maybe Leeds. It's a good shout with Mason Ball at the wheel. I don't know what's happening there, to be completely honest with you.
Even worse is it's so nice to see.
Usually you'd have that new manager bounce, wouldn't you? Like we had the Ollie bounce. They've just not had anything, which is good because I don't like Spurs. No offense. So I quickly wanted to come to the best player and best young player of the year from both of our clubs. So Greg, do you want to hit me up with your best old player as and then best young player?
Bruno. Absolutely, Bruno. Like, he's been the best player. He's been the best midfielder in the league this season. Don't care what Kevin De Bruyne does. Don't care how many trophies he lifts up. I really couldn't care. Phil Foden's been better than De Bruyne this season. So I'm not putting De Bruyne ahead of Bruno. Like, Bruno's been so good. And he's just so influential. Like, every time, when he's not on the pitch, we look not lost, but that you can tell our focal point's gone. The players need that extra 1 or 2 touches. It's not as free-flowing in midfield. He's just absolutely the best player. And I know Shaw's been absolutely brilliant. And Shaw, in terms of proving people wrong, I don't think there's a better story in the league. But Bruno, we wouldn't be where we are without Bruno, like, at all. It's not just what he does on the pitch. It's everything off it. It's his mentality. Even at the start of the season when we weren't playing great, I compared it to, like, when Bruno comes on, it's like the rest of the players started to play. And it was like a teacher coming into a class and telling you to go and do work. Like, that's literally what it was like when Bruno used to come on. Or the games that he wasn't playing him. But he's been by far the best player. And Shaw comes close. Cavani's been good for a little while, but it's got to be Bruno.
I think the only thing that's kind of hindering Cavani a little bit, in my estimations, is he did have that injury where he was in, out, and you didn't really know what was going on with him. But ever since he's come back, he's been absolutely firing. So, but for consistency reasons, I would have to agree. I think Bruno has been an absolute catalyst, and I still can't believe that we got him for only like 43, 44 million. It's absolute bargain. That price would have more than doubled if we were to sell him now, because he is so influential. He just makes us a better team. He is a proper leader, and that's not a slight on Maguire. I know there's a whole debate around whether Maguire should be captain, but I mean, Bruno is just as good as like a backup captain, or if Maguire was to be injured, like he is now. I have no doubt in my mind that Bruno would be one of the people that would be in line to get that captaincy, because he's a born leader. He has that, you know, when United sign a new player and you look for that kind of personality in them, where you say that's a United player, and he's one of the not one of the only players that we've signed recently, but one of the few players that we've signed recently that you can see that in them from the off, because he's so tenacious and he just wants to get it done. He reminds me of Ronaldo. You know, when like he'll throw a hissy fit, but
he's got an attitude on him. He does.
He has got a right attitude on him. But I mean, he gets the goals, and
if you're that good, you can be, I suppose.
Yep, that's completely agree. I'm going to go to the comments. Shaw and Greenwood. Oh, give me your young person.
Greenwood.
Yeah,
it's got to be great. Like, he's so good. I can't believe how good he is at finishing, and he gets the ball in some places, and I just can't believe he scores. Like the one he scored against Tottenham, I know it's a good deflection, but he has no right to be beating a World Cup winning goalkeeper from there. Like, that's ridiculous. And he's 19 years old, and he absolutely bossed Tyrone Mings yesterday. Like, he's so good, and he's got to go. If England need another option for the Euros, he's got to go, because he's fantastic in every sense of the word. Like, he's better than Saka. He's maybe not as good as Foden, but Foden's a very different player.
I agree.
But he's better than Hudson-Odoi and all these other young Englishmen that he's been compared with all the time. The same way Rashford was. Rashford was compared to every young English player all the time, and Rashford was better than them all. So Greenwood's going to do the exact same, but he's been fantastic this season. And to come back as well from what happened when he was in Iceland, a lot of that's obviously, he was just a young kid being a young kid, but
of course.
You don't get that luxury when you play for Manchester United, unfortunately. Not with in terms of the fans, I don't think the fans cared greatly. I think it was more sort of the media. Like, the fans sort of looked at it like, he's a 19-year-old kid. What's he going to do? Like, that's obvious what he's going to do. Like, it's something that was going to happen. But to come back and really put the work in, and obviously working with Cavani's helped him. He said that before as well. So he's really put the work in. He's earning his goals, and quite rightly, he's been one of our best players this season.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. You've taken my two options as well. It's completely Bruno and Greenwood for me. He's been outstanding. There's nothing that I can say that you've not just said. He's been absolutely outstanding, and he's only going to get better. To come back as well from his friend passing away as well in such a manner that he did. Yeah. It must be hard for a young kid of his age to kind of go through all that, and so props to him, and he's having a great season, and I only think he's going to get better because he's outstanding. Chelsea, do you agree? Or do you have someone else in mind?
I agree, obviously, Bruno. I mean, I don't even need to say, you've said it all. And same with Greenwood. Like, I think Cavani has been like a massive good influence on him this year. And you can tell, like, he had a bit of a spell at the beginning, which is obvious, like, you know, there was things going on, but he's come back and showed like that he's a generational talent. Like, that is the word to describe him. Although for the other player, I've got to give a special mention to my boy Luke Shaw for replying to me on Twitter. So he's going up there as well. Obviously, I would have said him anyway as well. Like, obviously, you know how good he's been, and he's been a massive impact to our left hand side this year. But obviously, for replying to me, he gets a special mention as well.
I tried. I think I sent him like 8 tweets.
You really tried. I was going for Twitter this morning. I was like, you worked hard.
I think I said about 50.
I think I was just like, hi Luke, by the way, I exist. Hi. It's fine. I've just been ignored by every other United player on this platform when all of my friends get replies. So
I'm taking him off. Done Rashford, done Shaw. Taking him off.
Shocking. Absolutely disgusting. I will get one day.
You will.
Jen, what are you saying for your old player of the year and young player of the year?
Right, you're gonna my old player of the year is Saka. Right,
How old
because
is
he's
he?
been playing for 2 seasons now. He is 19, but he's been playing for 2 seasons.
If that's
So
old,
he's my
oh my
older,
God.
yeah. But my young player of the year is older than Saka, but he's only been playing since Christmas, so that's Emil Smith-Rowe.
I think you've made
I've
your
got
own
to
rules
mention
here,
the 2
but whatever.
boys.
That's good. I like that.
I've got to
That's
mention the 2 boys. Come on. They are the future of our club. And I hope that they can build a team around them and let them play with freedom.
100%.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Those 2 are absolute talents. And I think if they have the right players around them, they will flourish. I just hope for your sake that they don't go elsewhere to flourish, like, you know, people like Willock.
I know. Well, Joe, yeah, bless him. He's just done so well.
Yeah,
no, I actually, when he scored for Newcastle the other night, I actually cheered. I was like, "Good on you, mate." Do you know?
You do with Lingard.
Yeah, that's what I do with Lingard as well. Yeah,
you know,
as long as it doesn't impact us in any way, and you think, oh, yes, Jesse.
See, this season it's fine because they're on loan, so they can't play against us. It's if we do actually sell them.
That's why I never like letting players go, because you know when they come back and you're like, they're going to have an absolute worldie and they're going to score and it's going to break my heart. So I think if Jesse Lingard scores against us next season, I'll be heartbroken.
Declan Rice will pocket him though; it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's very very true. I'm going to quickly go to some other comments before we skittle on out of here. Greenwood for England. I think Chelsea, I'm going to come to you because there's no point in talking to these 2 about England because I got shut down yesterday by Greg saying that England
you're going to get beat at Wembley. I'm sorry. You just are. Like Scotland. McTominay's going to run on a half volley from 30 yards out and just scream it into the top corner in like the 90th minute.
Not happening. Chelsea, Greenwood for England.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think he's shown that. I mean, he got called up before anyway, but I think he's shown that he's got that maturity. He needs to, kick on, and I think he'd be a great addition to the England squad, and we are going to win the Euros.
Yes. See, me and you here
Gotta
now.
Believe.
No, I completely agree. And it was good that I saw Gareth Southgate at the Villa game yesterday as well for Greenwood's goal. Okay. So that's kind of saying, Tyrone Mings, no. Greenwood, yes. So yeah, if Greenwood was Scottish,
yeah, we've got Matt Phillips. We've got Scottish Greenwood. We've got Matt Phillips. We'll be fine.
Good luck to you.
And we're not even in the Euros.
No. Oh. That makes me sad.
My lovely Irish accent, just in case anybody out there doesn't realise, I do live in Ireland.
Yes. We've had 2 comments now saying it's coming home and it's coming home. So yes, it is coming home. This time it's coming home because I remember the World Cup last time in 2018. I had the best time of my life.
Oh, I did.
It was insane because being younger, Chelsea, we didn't really see England do very well, did we?
No.
So it was so good to actually see England doing really well.
We smashed it in our team. We smashed it in the World Cup, to be fair.
When Eric Dyer scored that penalty, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Scene. Absolute scene. And Keane says, come on, Portugal. You know what? I wouldn't be. If England, obviously...
Bruno scores a Panenka penalty in the final, it would be England. That tests your loyalties.
Right, I'm going to leave it there because we've been on for nearly an hour now. And after, on this channel, we do have our United show, Devil's Advocate, with Keane and a few other of the lads. I think we've got Mark and... yes. Sorry. On straight after us. So yeah, please head on over, give this video a like as well if you enjoyed the content. Sub to the weekly Armchair Kickoff podcast and follow us all. You can catch me on Rach MUFC7 on Twitter. Greg, do you want to shout out your Twitter?
Yeah, so it's @Greg_D_Chambers.
You can find all the Donny propaganda over there.
Yeah, love him to bits. He'll start tomorrow.
He will start. Yeah, he will
He
start
will.
tomorrow.
We'll be 3-0 up by this time tomorrow. We'll be fine. We'll be done.
Yeah. No.
We'll be all right.
Jen, do you want to shout out your Twitter?
Yeah, at Gooner_Jen.
Nice. And Chelsea?
You can follow me on Twitter, and it's Chel UTD.
Who has just 7K followers, by the way. That is insane.
Honestly, it's that bloody Roy Keane video. That's
the Roy Keane video. Oh, that was
bloody
brilliant.
Roy Keane dancing. Honestly.
Brilliant. Right, we'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for tuning in today, getting in the comments and everything. It's been absolutely great. So we will see you next week for the other installment of Three Devils and a Gooner, and we will speak to you later. Bye.
Bye.